So it appears as though we have a really useful statement regarding the relationship between the first derivative and whether the function is increasing and decreasing as demonstrated in our last video. That is, we would say that f of x was increasing if f prime of x was greater than 0 for all x within some interval I, and that the function is decreasing if the derivative is less than 0 for all values of x in that interval I. In other words, if we're going to find on an interval where a function is increasing or decreasing, wherever the derivatives are positive, the function is increasing. Where the derivative is negative, the function is decreasing. Well, that's useful. So let's take a look at this function right here, f of x. Now, f of x is equal to 3x squared plus 5x plus 2. And what we're interested in finding out is where does this function have an interval of increase or decrease? So we're going to go through and start with our derivative, f prime of x. What is it? Well, f prime of x, the derivative of 3x squared would be 6x, and the derivative of 5x would be 5, and the derivative of 2 would be 0. So if we're interested in finding out where the intervals of the function are increasing, we said, well, f prime of x is greater than 0 implies that the function is going to increase. So if we're interested in finding out where the function is increasing, let's solve the inequality. 6x plus 5 is greater than 0. And if we solve this, 6x is greater than negative 5, which means that x would have to be greater than negative 5/6. Likewise, we said that f prime of x is negative, implies that we get a decrease. So where is this function to decrease? Well, wherever 6x plus 5 is less than 0. So let's run through the math right here. Of course, this is just exactly the same problem on the left, except the direction of the inequality is different. So we're saying it's decreasing wherever the interval is less than negative 5/6. So our function is going to change from increasing. Let's see, it's going to decrease, pardon me, it'll decrease on the interval from negative infinity to negative 5/6. Meanwhile, it's going to increase on the interval from negative 5/6 to positive infinity. Now, if anybody's got a little bit of an imagination right here, this means that whatever else this function is doing on the x and y axis system, where we have the number 5/6, the function's decreasing, whatever else its shape looks like, and then it's increasing. So if this is a continuous function, which it is, then what could we tell happens at negative 5/6? Answers to follow.